Okay, today's demo lesson is about advisability. It's just about modals, verbs. This is going to be for things like should, ought to, had, better. This is a high intermediate lesson. This might be kind of confusing for some of you, so if you're not familiar with high intermediate level, you may want to go back to one of the earlier demo lessons, which are more for high beginners. This is going to be a level B2 lesson. Okay, I'll see you guys in the demo lesson. Hey, this is Michael with Michael's Business English. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Michael Rincon. I'm a former six-figure data analyst turned ESL instructor and career coach. I support English language learners improve their career development through communications and language training. If you're new here, on this channel we talk about business English, communications, and career development. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you like and subscribe, and all the links mentioned in this video will be found in the description box below. Okay, so for today's lesson, I am going to do a demo lesson on verbs. We're also going to talk about modals, and this one we're going to talk about advisability, such as should, ought to, and had better. We're going to talk about how to use these verbs in order to give suggestions or to help, to give advice. So just to keep in mind that had better is used as a stronger form of both have to and should to express advisability. When we use had better, we are implying that if you don't follow the suggestion, there will be consequences. Had better is used for the present and future, not for the past, and have is a stronger form of should to express advisability. Ought to is the equivalent of should. Okay, without anything else, let's begin. You should do it, or else. Right? Had better is like should, but stronger. See this range here? Should, have to, had better, must. Right? You had better do it, or it will be too late. She had better study harder, or I'm going to get angry. You had better take an umbrella, or you will get wet. Okay, does that make sense? You see this gauge? Should, have to, had better, and must. Must is like absolute, whereas should is like it's optional. You don't have to do it, it's not required. We use had better for a suggestion, but if you don't follow the suggestion, there might be consequences. So for examples, you should stop smoking. It is bad for your health. You had better stop smoking. You are my child and it can kill you, right? See how there's a difference there? Should is like it's optional, and this is why. Like I think you should stop smoking because it's bad for your health. You had better stop smoking because there are consequences for it. What should these people do? Excuse me, sorry. What should these people do? Tobias's room is very messy. The car is about to run out of gas. It's going to rain. So you got answers here. So you had better take an umbrella. We had better stop for gas at a gas station. He had better clean his room. So Tobias' room is very messy. What's the correct answer here? So you had better take an umbrella. It's we had better stop at a gas station, or we had better clean his room. It's we had better clean his room. Right, good one. So the car is about to run out of gas. Is that you had better take an umbrella, or we had better stop at a gas station? Right, it's a gas station. It's going to rain. We had better take an umbrella. Good. Had better, right? So I want you to make sentences by reading across the table, and to make a sentence with all the subject pronouns such as I, you, he, she, it, we, and they. Practice the pronunciation. So like I'd better, you'd better, and compare that to I had better, right? So subject plus had better plus verb. So here we go. Subject, I had better phone my dad. So what's a verb version of phone? Like you can't say phone. I had better call my dad. What's another way of saying I had better? Conjugate. How do you conjugate I had? I'd better. Remember that? I'd better is a conjugation of I had. Does that make sense? or I had better. Do either or. It's up to you. I had better call my dad. How about you? You had better hurry home. You'd, right? So let me do it. Y-O-U-D. Right, let me show you. You, instead of you had, you can do you'd better or you had better. Either of those work. Here's another example. In spoken English, we use the following contraction. We with a D, so like I showed you before, we'd better phone, verb, so we'd better call my dad. They'd better hurry home. Okay, so for this exercise, I want you to use had better plus a verb below. So you have the verb study, buy, water, and go. Okay, we'd had better plus one of these words, a ticket to France. I need a holiday this year. We'd had better study a ticket. We'd had better buy a ticket to France. We had better order a ticket to France. We'd had better go a ticket to France. Which one is it? Which one do you think it is? Right. So the answer is go. Sorry, excuse me. No, the answer is buy. We had better buy a ticket to France. Right? We'd had better. You know what to do? We'd. So we'd better buy a ticket to France. Okay, so now I want to cover the homework real quick on advisability. So in this section, we're going to rewrite the sentences using had better and to use the contraction when possible. So you ought to listen to your parents. How you had better listen to your parents. Now, how to use a contraction here, right? So you had better. You'd better listen to your parents. Because remember, had, you plus had is a contraction. Okay, how about this one? She should clean up her room. So she had better clean up her room. This is very easy, very cool. She'd better clean up her room. Good. See what else we have here? So this is the next section is asking which is correct. That was a delicious meal, but it's getting late. We ought to ask for the check. That's interesting. Oughtn't to. So just to clarify, if you're not familiar with what this is saying, oughtn't is ought not to, right? So not, oughtn't, ought not to. We should ask for the check, or we oughtn't to ask for the check. Well, the context is this is a delicious meal, but it's getting late. We should ask for the check because we're about to leave. So if we ask for the check, we can go ahead and leave as soon as we can, so we can go home because it's getting late. You I hate this word. You oughtn't to, or had better, drink any coffee because you have to get to bed early. You have to go to bed early and it stops you from sleeping. So in this case, is it you oughtn't to, or you had better? Remember the first slides I showed you where it showed like the slides show you the power of the word. So remember, had better is very close to must, meaning so if you think of had better as must, like you must drink any coffee because you have to go to bed early and it stops you from sleeping. So if you thought it was had better, you would say that you should drink coffee. You had better drink coffee because you don't want to go to sleep. Because you're saying you had better, you must drink coffee because you have to go to bed early and it stops you from sleeping. Right? So that doesn't make sense because if you're trying to go to bed early, coffee stops you from sleeping, then you shouldn't drink coffee, right? Right? Because coffee is going to make you sleep. Because coffee stops you from sleeping, and you're trying to go to bed early, so you oughtn't to, ought not to, or oughtn't to. Okay, let's look at one more assignment. Complete the answers with had better or had better not plus verb. Right, there's been an accident. You, which of these verbs should it be? Right, so it's probably call, right? Because what do you do with the police? You call, right? So you, is it had better or is it had better not? You had better call the police, because we do want, meaning because there's been an accident, we want the police to know about it so they can help, right? So let's look at the next one. The baby is asleep now, so you blank him. Which verb what it might be, first of all? The baby is asleep now, so wake seems like the correct verb. So the baby is asleep now, so should you had better wake him or had better not wake him? Right. Had better not wake him. Because typically you don't want to wake the baby if it's asleep. That's crazy. Why would you want to wake up a baby that's sleeping? It needs its energy. Okay, let's look at one more down here. Use should have or shouldn't have plus verb 3 to put the sentence to the past. It's crazy how they do that. Like, I'm not sure why they call it verb 3, but you should listen more carefully. So you should have or should have, remember conjugations, contractions, right? Should have listened, verb 3, past tense, right? Listened more carefully. He oughtn't to speak like that. So how do we do this? So he shouldn't have spoken, past tense, like that. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to go ahead and go to bed. I'm yawning in the middle of the video. I apologize for that. Hope you guys had a good class. I'll see you guys in the next video. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what questions you have. See you guys soon.